Africa's economic rise is no longer a distant dream. It is happening now, driven by innovation, entrepreneurship, and bold leadership. Today on Africa 24, we are privileged to be speaking with one of the continent's most influential business leaders, a man whose vision for Africapitalism is transforming industries and empowering thousands of entrepreneurs across Africa. He is the chairman of Heirs Holdings, the United Bank for Africa, the founder of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, and a firm believer in Africa's potential. Mr. Tony Elumelu, it's a delight having you with us on Africa 24.
It's my pleasure to be here again.
You are in Yaoundé for the first edition of the Cameroon Economic Meetings, a key platform for shaping the country's economic future. What motivated your presence at this gathering, and what key messages do you wish to convey to Cameroon's business community regarding investment, entrepreneurship, and economic growth?
First is I want to thank the president of this great country, President Paul Biya, for the invitation. And I want to also thank the Prime Minister and Head of Government for his kind hospitality since I arrived yesterday. They invited me to be the keynote speaker at this wonderful event. Basically, as an entrepreneur, as an Africapitalist, as someone who believes so much in the economic prosperity and development of Africa, I like moments and opportunities like this. The private sector in Africa cannot do well if we don't unite. Private sector and government sector, like a public-private partnership. So when I got this invitation from the president for a private sector event, I thought it was what we should all support. I had so much on my program, but I had to move things around to be here. Second point to make is that Cameroon is like a second home to me. We have invested in Cameroon over 17 years now, starting with banking. I want to do more in Cameroon. Yesterday, I had the opportunity of discussing extensively with the Prime Minister, the Finance Minister, the Economic Planning Minister. Basically, I shared they told me about Cameroon being open for business. I also told them areas we do business in, and those are areas I would like to invest in Cameroon. I share with them that we are a group. Yes, we started as bankers, but we've gone beyond banking. Today, we have in Nigeria, we generate electricity. We have 2,000 megawatt generating electricity generating plant in the country. And we are strong, fastest growing indigenous oil and gas company, producing over 50,000 barrels of oil a day, which is about a third of what Cameroon produces on a daily basis also. So this invitation to come here and share my thoughts and my career experiences with the private sector here is one that I was happy to do. And third point is that I believe in turnarounds and business transformation, and I believe that also that they hold significance for the public sector as well. And in the hall today with the minister, the prime minister, private sector leaders, with foreign investors in Cameroon, it was an opportunity to share thoughts and nuggets on what we have done in our group. I told them about the philosophy that drives what we do at Heirs Holdings Group, which is what we call the 3 E's: entrepreneurship, enterprise, execution, and excellence. I believe, and this is my message to the private sector in Cameroon, that we as entrepreneurs, private sector leaders, should dream dreams. But beyond dreaming, we need to realize that dreams alone don't make the change or transformation. We need to execute ruthlessly and efficiently, timely, to translate the dreams to reality. Excellence is important, professionalism for business leaders, and the same also for government. The private sector cannot do well if government does not capacitize them and create the enabling environment. And finally, I shared with the private sector leaders that as we do well, we must simultaneously also think of humanity, think of our young ones. Africa is endowed with young ones, but unfortunately, some of them, most of them, do not have economic hope and opportunities, and they've taken to migration and other interests. But we need to realign them. We need them for capacity building. We need them for the market. We need them for the future of our continent. So as private sector leaders, we must not define success in terms of how much we have or what happens to us in our businesses. We must think beyond our businesses, our families, and think community, think of the young generation, and see how we can, in our own respective ways, work hard to support young entrepreneurs. This is what we do at the Tony Elumelu Foundation, and this is what I commend to other African business leaders to do.
Speaking about what you do at the Tony Elumelu Foundation, you have empowered over 18,000 African entrepreneurs with funding, training, and mentorship, including many from Cameroon. So as we look ahead to 2025 and beyond, what is your vision for the Tony Elumelu Foundation's impact in Cameroon and across Africa?
To date, we have supported about 700 young men and women entrepreneurs from Cameroon. My wife and I founded the Tony Elumelu Foundation in 2010. We realized we were born in Africa, we schooled in Africa, and we've done our business in Africa. And we thought, seeing the poverty and the hopelessness exist on the continent, that we should support young Africans. Hence, the foundation was put in place. And since then, we've actually supported over 21,000 young Africans, each of them with a non-refundable seed capital of $5,000. And out of this number, about 700 are from Cameroon. And the good thing about this is that the ones who have succeeded with supporting Cameroon have gone on to create jobs. They created nearly 6,000 jobs and directly, and there's a lot of indirect job opportunities they've created. And they've contributed about roughly $140 million in revenue to the economy. They're starting small, but they're going big and bigger. And that's how we all started. That's how Tony Elumelu started. That's how other successful African private sector leaders started. We must plant that seed in our young ones so that they too will surpass what we have achieved. And that is how we can catalyze a transformation, economic development, prosperity, poverty alleviation, job creation on the continent for our young ones. So for Cameroon, we will do more. We're going to do more. And as I said, in the area of business, we also invest more in Cameroon. This is my second home. United Bank for Africa has been doing business here for 17 years, and we're happy with the reception, the way Cameroon has received UBA. So we're encouraged to do more.
In the same light, speaking of entrepreneurship, how do you see the role of technology and innovation in shaping the future of African startups?
In fact, I'll just say that it's a way to go, innovation, data innovation. Even the Tony Elumelu Foundation, I read a memo last night about the AI application to what we do. So, and the population of Africa, as you and I know, we have a lot of young people, and they are very energetic, very creative, innovative. They want to succeed, and that's why we support them at the Tony Elumelu Foundation. That is the future. There's no other way. And for businesses, all of us in private sector, each and every one of us, we're embracing technology, even going further. Today, people talk about AI, but United Bank for Africa, as far back as 2017, launched their first banking chatbot in this part of the world. And Leo, I'm sure some of you who are customers of UBA have been used to Leo long before this time. But that is the power of innovation. That's the power of foresight. That is what will shape the future, not just of Africa, but for the entire world. So the earlier we come on board, the better. But that also is why digital connectivity is extremely, extremely important. And Cameroon and other African countries must lead in that area. We must fix digital access. If we don't fix digital connectivity, our people will be left behind and we'll pay for it in future.
You made mention of electricity, and we are going to be concluding with it. Energy remains a major challenge in Africa, with over 600 million people lacking access to electricity.
Correct.
And your investment in the power sector, particularly through Transcorp Power in Nigeria, have played a significant role in addressing energy deficits. So what is your broader vision for Africa power sector, and how do you see private sector-led initiatives accelerating energy access and industrialization across the continent?
Wow, that's so brilliant. For me, energy security is critical for the transformation of our continent. And as the chairman of Transcorp is Transnational Corporation of Nigeria, we are an integrated energy company. But we also do more than energy. We're into hospitality, the Trans-Quality Hotel Abuja. But we have, as I said earlier, 2,000 megawatts electric generating capacity, but we generate just about 750, 800 megawatts a day today. Reason being that we need more investment in gas so that our gas can fire our power plant. But the capacity is there for us, and we have the higher generating capacity in Nigeria. We currently also export electricity to some West African countries. But to us, the way to go is private sector investment. And this whole philosophy of Africapitalism, where private sector investing long-term in critical sectors that will help to catalyze and propel the African economic renaissance and transformation. And we will do more, but we also need government to create the right operating environment. But I believe collaboratively, private sector, what we do at Transcorp Group, at Transcorp Power, and Transafan Power, and we're also into distribution, the Abuja Electric Distribution Company. What we do in conjunction with what others do should help to bridge that gap in electricity access for our people. Electricity is so critical. To me, it's the single most critical factor for the economic transformation of our continent. It is totally unacceptable that a continent this big, 1.5, 1.6 billion people, over 65% of our people don't have access to electricity. And those who have access to electricity is not even concerned. So it is a collective responsibility, one that our government, Friends of Africa, development institutions, and private sector in Africa must collaborate on to fix if we want to stem youth immigration, if we want to stem poverty, if we want to stem intolerance on the continent, and we want to create jobs for our people, we must improve access to electricity. So I like that question. I'm happy to say that Transnational Corporation of Nigeria, Transcorp Group, is playing its own role in providing solutions for this.
Mr. Tony Elumelu, thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you very much.
And that's where we draw the curtain on this edition of the interview. A big thank you to our guest, Mr. Tony Elumelu, for his valuable insight and for continuously championing African entrepreneurship. And to you, our viewers, for tuning in. Stay connected for more exclusive content coming in on Africa 24. Until next time.